Which celebrity suffered the worst death? Sharon Tate's was pretty bad. Getting stabbed to death while pregnant and begging for your unborn child's life is pretty fucking brutal. Judith Barsi. Voiced characters in The Land Before Time and All Dogs Go to Heaven. She died at the hands of her father in a murder-suicide after years of abuse. Isadora Duncan. A famous dancer in the 1920s, wore a long scarf. She jumped in a sports car with no roof and the scarf got caught in the spokes of one of the wheels. And she was strangled. Vic Morrow and two non-famous kids decapitated by helicopter on set. Sean Taylor. Tried to save his family from a home invasion and it cost him his life in the early stages. Prime of his career. Number 21. Lou Gehrig. ALS causes loss of muscle control, but many people diagnosed know what's in store for them. They know they will be losing the ability to walk, talk and even breathe. It's Kirsty MacColl to me. Sliced up by the propeller of an illegally operated boat while saving her children from the same. For the boat's rich owner to buy his way out of justice. Selena. Being murdered by someone you thought you could trust and being snuffed out when she was on the cusp of superstardom. All her hard work since a little girl down the drain. That Glee actress that disappeared when she was on a boat with her little son. Phil Hartman. Murdered in his bed by his wife. At the time, it was a celebrity death that really bothered me. Dolores O'Riordan, lead singer of the Cranberries, drowned in a bathtub while intoxicated. Christina Grimmie. Surprised no one brought up Marvin Gaye. Rebecca Schaeffer. She was that actress on the 80s sitcom My Sister Sam. She was murdered by a very unstable man who was obsessed with her. I just watched the documentary about it. Very horrifying, crying. Chris Farley. Tommy Cooper. Died on stage of heart attack, everybody thinking it was part of the show. Owen Hart. Anton Yelchin. Bob Crane, from Hogan's Heroes. Brutally murdered and I don't think it's ever been solved. Dimebag Darrell. That one Japanese wrestler who got cyberbullied for acting out her part in a wrestling show. I don't remember her name. But mob mentality sucks and people are fickle on social media. Not sure death is a competition, but Patrick Swayze. Pancreatic cancer looks like no picnic. Nicole Brown killed, likely by O.J. Simpson, and never got justice. Jack Cassidy. Died in an apartment fire after falling asleep with a lit cigarette. Judith Barsi. The voice of Ducky in The Land Before Time. Patrick Swayze was a sad one. I remember just seeing how he withered away. Big strong guy just disappearing, wow. Norm Macdonald lived knowing death was around the corner for over a decade. It's not the worst, but knowing what he went through is rough for me. Bruce Lee. Practically in the prime of his life and had a drug reaction that caused a brain hemorrhage. No one even knew until it was too late. Isadora Duncan. Her very long scarf was caught in the rear wheel of the convertible car she was riding in and pulled her out into the street. Christina Grimmie. Grant Imahara. Brain aneurysm. Might have been fairly sudden, but it was totally out of nowhere. Such a brilliant mind to go in such a way is tragic as hell. Jeff Hanneman of Slayer. Bitten by a spider. Nearly loses his arm. Tries to return to Slayer. Can't play fast enough anymore. Drinks himself to death. Princess Diana. Phil Hartman. The guy was murdered by his wife while he was sleeping. Such talent lost in its prime. Avicii. He deserved better. The actors in Poltergeist. Mary Cecilia Brown. Jumped off the Hollywood sign. Song by Dory Previn. The name is fictitious, but the event did occur with a not-so-famous actress. Sharon Tate. Marvin Gaye needs to be mentioned. Murdered in cold blood by his own father, who had an irrational hatred of Marvin from the very day he was born. Gaye's father is the epitome of what a scumbag is. Probably Sam Lloyd, Ted from Scrubs. He had a very severe form of cancer. Kobe Bryant. Being in a helicopter crash knowing that your daughter and other kids and their parents will die with you. Such a tragedy. I'd say Phil Hartman. May 28, 1998. The comedian and actor, famous for his work on Saturday Night Live and News Radio, was shot to death by his troubled wife, Bryn, in a murder-suicide. He was 49. Paul Walker being incinerated to death. Autopsy showed he was still alive while burning to death trapped inside the Porsche. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe for more content.